Good morning and welcome to today's live stream. I'm your host Tianran, host of Travelog on CGTN, and our co-host today, as she was here for the last 2 days as well, is Miss Wang Mingjie from the Sanxingdui Museum.
Good morning, everyone.
So for those of you who are just now tuning into our live stream, we're currently in China, and for the last 2 days we've been coming at you live from the Sanxingdui Museum. Now you might be wondering what Sanxingdui is. So Sanxingdui was a Bronze Age civilization that modern in this part of southwest China, and it was incredible when they discovered the relics of the Sanxingdui state, because of what's in Chinese legends, and even today Sichuan is still known as Shu. But most importantly, this part of China is quite isolated, and it was more than 1,000 kilometers from what was previously thought was the cradle of Chinese civilization in central China. But they discovered an advanced Bronze Age civilization here, and they created many alien-looking bronze relics of human heads, human masks, large statues and trees, which we saw in yesterday and the day before yesterday's live stream. But today we've brought you back to where it all began in 1929, when a farmer originally stumbled upon the relics, and then later on in 1986 archaeologists excavation. Two sacrificial pits in this region where they unearthed most of the amazing relics. Today we've come to one of the former excavation sites just to show you what it would have looked like back then, and to give you a bit of a background information on how archaeological excavations work. So right
very cold.
And when they did sacrificial pits 1 and 2, was that in winter as well, or was that in summer or a different season?
Just the sacrificial pits was found in 1986 year. Just 2 sacrificial pits. In 2 sacrificial pits, we found many cultural relics, such as the so on.
And right here, I just want to show you guys here. We have this interesting, I guess, are they totems or something? Because there are symbols on the
just the symbols are found in the pottery pieces. But now we don't know what it means about it. No scholars record just unscreened. Just strange. Okay, this one looks like the tunnel.
It's a tunnel?
Yeah, this one looks like the tunnel.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you want to come have a look over here, so Mingjie is saying this was one of the symbols found on earthenware here at Sanxingdui, and it looks like a tunnel. Do we know what this might have been used for?
This one still now we don't know, because and the scholars and because this one not looks like the Egyptian culture. We can see some writings looks like the picture, but this one just geometry and other things. Still now we can't decoding the meanings.
Right. And over here we have more symbols too. I also just want to take the time to say hello to those of us watching from home. Hello and welcome back, James. Welcome back, Stan. Good morning to you, Robert, as well from Boston, and Jesse. Thank you, and Michelle as well. Thank you very much for tuning back today as well to watch our live stream. What is this symbol?
This symbol, some people thought that maybe it looks like a mountain, but this one just speculations. We are not sure.
I see.
Yeah.
I see. And over here we have another symbol. This is actually a symbol that looks quite familiar, isn't it?
Yeah, and this one quite looks like the eye.
It does.
Yeah,
it does very much.
I still remember we introduced before in the museum. We found many bronze eyes and bronze human figures. They have the protruding eyes. So maybe the eyes have the magical power. Some scholars argue that this one may be the eyes, the eye symbol. Yeah.
That is fascinating. If you tuned in yesterday for our live stream, you would have seen these incredible bronze eye relics in the Sanxingdui Museum. So we talked about how eyes give power. Eyes are able to see through you, to sort of be omnipotent and omnipresent. So possibly I worship over there. And over here, this is what the archaeological dig site would have looked like. It's now been cemented over, but this is dig site that you see here. It's just to make everything more permanent. So we have lots of holes in the ground. Tell us about these holes. What are they for?
In fact, here just the site of the residence, and
this was a residential
residential part. Just maybe just shows the architecture, the house at that time.
Fascinating.
So you see the round ones, just maybe the pillar holes.
Pillar holes.
Yes,
and what were these pillars for?
Pillars for just the house.
I see. So they were sort of like structural support. They put down a pillar for the house. Okay. And what were these pillars made of?
Oh, made of maybe the wooden stick or bamboo at that time.
Okay.
We know Sichuan is rich in bamboo.
Of course it is.
Yes.
Well, what about this one? Because this one seems to be connected to some kind of a groove here.
This one.
Oh, okay. So I see. So if you have a look, if you just come up, you see these. So you have a groove here, for example, and then it extends to this side, where you have a hole. So that would have been for a wooden pillar.
Yeah.
And then it would have come this way, right?
And
then here you have more walls then. So was this a giant house, or was it one house with just maybe walls on four sides and an opening here maybe for a door?
Very big. It's more than 200. Maybe the public house.
So is this the one that's 200 square meters, or is...
Oh, okay, the next one.
Oh, this one.
Yeah, that's one. Yeah.
Oh,
it's
giant.
Big. Yeah.
And
the small ones maybe just the smallest about 10 square meters or 60 is just the local people's house.
Ori was saying that maybe earlier over there that was the Eye of Sauron, but I don't know, it might be a little bit too early for its time. But very good, it could be possible, you never know. And thank you, Jessie. Yeah, we do have slightly better audio today. We do apologize for the audio issues we had in the museum the last 2 days. We've learnt our lesson, so we've got this out today. So you were saying that this is a 200 square meter building. That's gigantic. What would it have been used for?
House.
A public house?
Yeah.
What did they do?
Maybe many people get here drinking, dancing, and eating hot pot.
It seems to be a common theme, isn't it? The last 2 days we were talking about ritual vessels and a lot of earthen. Years ago, people really did enjoy their drink. So this was a pub. This was like a bar.
Yes, pub. Apparently, you can say that.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So does that mean that people here at Sanxingdui lived really good lives? What was their life like?
We can say just a rich agriculture, and according to research, inside we found some the crops research just maybe the rice. Millet, and the rice and millet you can make the rice wine.
Oh, okay. So it's also a rice wine, millet wine. So it would have been very strong alcohol, like 40 something degrees.
We saw that maybe similar to the sake in Japan.
Oh, sake. Okay.
Not very high the alcohol.
Okay. So more of a slow drink.
Yes,
Stan says good morning to you, and he thinks you're very knowledgeable, and he likes your giggle. So we've got some models of archaeologists here, and very interestingly, there's also this. I guess this is a tomb. So there's a skeleton here.
Yeah.
Was there originally a skeleton here?
The original just the storage, storage, and this one just the copy. And we found out maybe the local people, the common people, because in here we also found several tombs. In tombs we found some found the king's tombs.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you found tombs of normal people, common
Yeah,
folk.
normal people. It shows us here just maybe the residence.
Right.
Yeah, residence of.
Tomb along with the skeleton. Was there anything else there?
Still now we're not sure because just lack of the evidence for
Right.
that. Yeah.
And did the bodies, did the remains look similar to?
The scholars haven't given us the information about this one.
No giant eyes, giant ears.
Yeah, yeah, because it's many years
Right.
and some information was broken, so this one is quite difficult
Right.
to find the answers.
So you said this is the residential quarter.
Yeah.
How big was the residential quarter? Was it just this part? How many people lived at Sanxingdui?
This one maybe just more than 10,000 people.
More
maybe
than 10,000?
Maybe 1万多.
Wow, yeah, more than 10,000, of course.
Maybe,
that's
just
incredible.
Maybe.
I don't know if I'm saying this correctly. From what I understand, 10,000 people, more than 3,000 years ago,
Yeah.
would have been a gigantic city. Would have been very.
I mentioned before, here study shows here capital city of the ancient Shu kingdom. So in here just many people living in here. Yeah.
How did that compare to places like Babylon or ancient? There any kind of comparison that?
No some comparison between them.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess it's not
Yeah.
possible to until you figure out for sure how many people lived here.
Yeah.
Okay. And what would they do in their houses? Did you find furniture, or did you find
furniture
or decorations or drawings, books?
The decorations just we found some jade, jade or some small bronze.
Okay.
And pottery and so on. About the furniture, maybe made of the wooden or bamboo, just carbonized. We have not found it.
Right, of course.
Yeah.
Do you think they had furniture? Did they have chairs? Did they have beds, sofas?
We saw that the people should be the newly just sit down on the floor.
They just sat on the floor?
Yeah.
Okay.
At that time, no the sitting you said.
Right,
yeah.
right. They didn't have floor heating.
Yeah. So we missed before.
It was a jug with 3 legs.
Yeah, 3 legs also just put here, setting fire. Yeah.
This is what we were talking about. I think during our first live stream, that inside the dough was wine, right? So.
Yeah.
So they would heat up the alcohol over a floor.
Sitting on.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
It's a very colorful life.
Right,
Yeah.
right. And Ori, you mentioned that you asked if people found jade here. So inside the tombs of common people, they found jade, and at the inside sacrificial pits 1 and 2, the main excavation sites, they found incredible amounts of jade. They found beautiful. And the day before. If you'd like to go back and amazing jades, I highly do recommend you just go back and click on those links too. Today we're going to be spending the whole day outside, so unless we're very lucky, we might not be able to come across any jade. So these grooves, we've got these wooden pillars, and then we've got these long grooves too. And you said these long grooves are also walls.
Yes, also maybe the base of the wall.
And what were these? Like a big long tree trunk, and then they put it flat on the floor?
Maybe just maybe. Yeah.
But what were they made of, for example? Because you didn't find any like wall remains, right?
So we're not sure. Just lack of evidence. Yeah.
I remember seeing a video in the museum, and the houses had these big wooden pillars, and then the walls seemed to be made of mud.
Just mud and the hay. Hay 干草.
Oh, hay. Okay.
Yeah. In Chinese, 甘南是木骨泥墙建筑.
Okay. Stilt houses.
Yes. Style architecture in south. South of China.
So in southern China, traditionally ancient architect houses were on stilts. So they had these wooden pillars that were sort of the structural foundations, and then the walls were made of adobe, which is soil with hay, which is packed very tightly to create a nice solid wall. And the roofs were made of hay as well, it seems.
What?
The roof of the
pottery.
Oh, okay, so
Yeah.
ceramic roof tiles.
Yeah.
Wow, that's really impressive. We still have ceramic roof tiles today.
The roof tile makes
I see.
the roof tile we use it here.
I see.
Yeah,
Right, of
Other
course.
things, the mud and so on.
Of
Yeah.
course. And so, I want to take you guys over that palaces and quarters, and from that little hill over there we'll be able to get a better idea of how Sanxingdui was laid out. But that hill also has a very interesting story, which we'll get to as we're moving that way. Or
So have irrigation,
irrigation, yeah.
and also found some ditch, moat, and wolf, and so on.
wow,
Yeah.
did they find it here?
Yeah, that's just a moat, maybe in here, and
Okay.
the
Where
wolf,
was the moat?
Moat.
Is it that way?
No.
Sure, let's go have a look at the moat.
Yeah.
So they, Gabrielle asked, maybe it was an early toilet. What did they have?
Toilet.
Yeah, 厕所. What sort of? 他们当时有什么样的有厕所的？
This I'm not sure because no evidence proves that the toilet
Right.
is just near the residences.
Right,
Yeah,
right. I think Gabrielle also, I guess more than 3,000 years ago, they didn't have, a flushing water, so it would have been pretty much a ditch where people would go toilet. So perhaps they wouldn't be able to find remains from that time. And so you were talking about this. You were talking about this moat.
Yes, moat.
Yeah.
It just shows the idea about the water transportation at
Right.
that time, convenient rivers in here, and they also found some moat to connect Yangtze River in the north,
Wow.
and the south river, the Mambu River. Yeah, so we
Okay.
can see connections rivers.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's
Okay.
yeah, but
Interesting.
yeah.
So tell us about this. What is this?
This one just maybe the ash pit.
Ash pit.
Yeah.
What was it used for?
Used for just kept some common people's household waste remain.
Bits of vases or maybe leftover food.
Yeah.
That sort of
Food
thing.
words and other waste just put it here.
What can you tell about their lifestyle from their waste?
Just from this, found some this lifestyle of the Asian people, just tree and eat some food, some kinds of food, and so on.
No hot pot.
No hot pot. Yeah. Hot pot. Yes, we mentioned before just the daily cooker. That's why just hot pot. We saw that.
Right.
Yeah.
So maybe they ate hot pot. We can't
Yeah,
tell.
yeah,
We don't know yet.
Yeah, but because many years just had carbonized or disappear.
Right.
The true detail now we're sure. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, let's head over there to that little hill. So that hill has a very interesting history.
Yeah.
In Chinese, Sanxingdui literally means 3 stars mound. So this is one of the mounds of Sanxingdui. There are 3 of them, but the other 2 are no longer here. There are placeholders for where the other 2 mounds were, right?
Yeah. In fact, just use Sanxingdui because 3 start mounts.
Mm-hmm.
The mounts, that's one just half left, and others have in last century, in 1970s, they just take some earth to make bricks.
I see.
So only half left, and another 2. The disappearing here, yeah, just we can see 2 stones, yeah, and the plants represents the position of the another 2 mounts.
I see. So
yeah,
what were these mounds used for? Were they used for sacrifices or?
Yeah. Some scholars argue that the mounts may be the place for worshipping the worshipping the gods.
Mm-hmm.
Some scholars are inner city wall. One piece of inner city wall.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you mentioned inner city wall.
Yeah.
Does that means that there was an outer city as well?
Yeah, outside. We here used to be the capital city of the ancient Shu Kingdom, and the city was walled eastern, western, southern, northern sides.
Okay.
The city wall around it.
Where are we? What's this?
Maybe here you can't see.
Okay.
Just the inner city wall.
So who lived in the inner city?
Maybe the king and also some other common people.
Okay.
Yeah. And the shaman is
A big house earlier.
yeah.
It's a bunch of shamans and kings could go to that.
Yeah.
It's a very
together.
exclusive bar.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And the people who lived here too, then they were also of like a
high ruling.
very high social standing.
High rulings. Yeah.
I guess they were of the highest
yeah.
part of Sanxingdui society.
Yes.
Right.
Just as that because they have this here just a king and already a kingdom.
Right.
So I have the upper class common people. Just how to say hierarchy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And as you can see, there's a lot of construction. That's because Sanxingdui is doing excavation, undergoing reconstruction. So things that we know now might not be, well, they might change in the future. You never know when a new discovery will be made. Discovery might be made. Archaeology, isn't it? You're constantly digging up bits of the past, trying to piece together new stories.
Yeah. Now the excavation unfinished excavation.
Right.
And we can't see it.
Right.
That's still a secret.
Right.
Yeah. In the future, we found more the new things.
Right.
Yeah.
Hello to you, Alinda, as well. Thank you for tuning in to our live stream. We're just heading up this tiny path. We actually missed it earlier. We just got to go in through here.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Just watch your step. A place for sacrificial ceremonies.
Yeah.
But it also might have been a city wall.
Yeah.
And this is one of the 3 Sanxingdui, which literally means 3-star mound in Chinese.
Yeah.
Why is it called a star?
Just metaphor 比喻 名誉
Oh, it's
and the 3 mounts are like 3 stars in the sky.
Right.
So we know Chinese people like the stars. They say the stars can forecast some weather or other things. Yeah.
Of course, and especially when you're up here, you do see a lot more, don't you? And especially back, a little bit out of breath, especially back in the past, forecasting the weather was incredibly important.
Yeah. That in ancient times, the people believe the gods, and the shaman can to the gods. The shaman are doing witchcraft. Witchcraft they can forecast weather or other things. If you want to fight against other countries.
Right.
Yeah, and planted. It is quite important for ancient Shu people as that time. So this one also the city wall, but also the water. Yeah.
Right, I see. So this is just a part of the. Where would the wall have gone? Because I can't see the rest of the wall.
Yeah, because many years so influenced by just only the Relics left.
So which side? You mentioned inner city and outer city. Where's the inner city and where's the outer city?
Inner city, no, just capital city.
Yeah.
The capital city is surrounded by the 4 city walls, and each city wall. In fact, just one city.
Oh, there was no inner city, no outer city.
No,
there was no divide then.
Divide, yeah. Divide the capital city.
Right.
And mainly divided into many parts.
Right,
In the city,
I see. So this side was the residential quarter.
Yeah.
I don't know, for
the altar, and in fact we are in the south of the site, and in the north, and also have some other residences where workshops and so on. Many parts of the city.
Oh,
yeah.
Do we know where they were? Is it possible to point to the location of where these parts are?
Oh, this one we can't sure because too big. Nowadays the houses and farm.
Thank you guys for your encouragement. I'm very happy to be presenting for you and sharing this wonderful knowledge and history with you guys as well. As you can see, archaeological work is very difficult, time consuming, and also money consuming, isn't it, as well? So because you have to dig in a very small area. So you mentioned there are sort of religious sites, there are other sites, but I guess they're mostly focused on the main important sites.
Yeah, well, later we will see the city wall we call Yueliangwan city wall. That's one you can focus on some detailed information.
Right, of course, because a lot of what we see now is just farmland.
Yeah, farmland.
And would it have looked like that back in 1929 when this place was first discovered? Was it just farms everywhere?
Yeah, it's farm here.
Because it was a farmer who discovered Sanxingdui.
No. Just the farms, and many just some farmland.
Right.
Farmland. Many people in here just like them doing something workers. Yeah, workers.
But the person who discovered Sanxingdui, he was a farmer, right?
Yes, by a farmer in 1929.
Exactly.
By Yan Daocheng, a local farmer who dug out almost 400 pieces of the jade artifacts while drinking a ditch around his courtyard.
That's so interesting. So this discovery, one of the greatest discoveries of the 20th century, was by chance.
By chance, yes, by chance. Almost the workers were the farmers, and they dig out the earth. You will find some interesting things.
Imagine finding this in your own backyard. That would change your life forever, wouldn't it? We're heading down now. You've got to be careful.
Okay, please.
Sure. It's a bit of a gradient here, but it's okay. And you mentioned there might have been a sacrificial altar here as well, but so far they haven't been able to find any relics, any remains of the sacrificial altar, right?
About sacrificial remains?
Sacrificial altar.
Altar, like this one, just altar, and also, what do you mean? Just the sacrifice something? Or?
You mentioned that maybe there was an altar.
Maybe altar or the city wall. Yeah.
Right, but there's no way to the altar looked like.
Looks like?
Yeah. What did you find parts of the altar?
No.
就发现了那个祭祀台吗？
没有 not. This one just a speculation, maybe the altar.
Oh, speculation, right.
Yeah.
Because that is a lot of archaeological work, isn't it? Just guesswork.
Yes, because now we have not found the writings yet. So, many mysteries about this culture.
Right.
Almost the speculations.
Okay, so to the place that Mingjie was speaking about earlier. But first we'll just take you quickly around the rest of the excavation site. The people of Sanxingdui and I,
What?
就是他们其实跟我们也没有太大的区别，他们的生活。
Yeah. Quite similar days. And
Right.
today's people also just drinking, dancing, sing.
Right.
Yeah.
Were they able to find any other interesting areas within Sanxingdui? You said there's a residential area. There's a place for a palace.
Yeah.
And what else?
Just the sacrificial pit, but now we can't see it. That's one quite important and most interesting, because now still going just protected. In here we found many more new things, but now
Okay.
secrets. We
Heard that here first. Secrets, new discoveries. Just wait for the press release.
Yeah.
Wow, that is fascinating.
Yeah, maybe in the future we will showing some information on the public media.
Wow.
Media. Yeah.
Okay. Could be the greatest archaeological discovery of the 21st century. Was there also, because there were a lot of jades and a lot of pottery discovered here, was there also a crafting quarter? A quarter pots made?
In here also found some workshop. This site of the workshops. The local workers make the pottery in here. Pottery making enjoys more than 1万多年.
More than 10,000 years.
Yeah. And in China, have this pottery making. We can see in Xi'an, Banpo, and their pottery is colorful pottery. But in our Sanxingdui, almost the green, 灰褐.
Gray pottery.
Gray pottery. Yeah, but that's what just not very exquisite. Cultural relics should be the jade and the bronze,
right.
and so on. Yeah, but the jade and bronze are almost used for ceremony, offer them to the gods.
Right.
Yeah.
And talking about daily life, did you find animal bones, or just did people keep animals?
Yeah.
Because there
bones.
Okay.
So the ancient Shu people, as more than 3,000 ago, also raising some livestock.
Okay.
The dog, pig, sheep, or other animals, and
same
rooster,
as today then.
Chicken, rooster.
Right.
Yeah, I love chicken. Yeah.
So did they have a special area for animals, or
Yeah, with them.
in the house?
Just
area that we saw earlier is no longer a dig. However, Mingjie just let us know that right next door are new excavations, and they might have made new discoveries, but we don't know what they are yet because I guess they're national secrets, aren't they?
Yeah, it's secrets now.
So we'll just have to wait and see. Maybe it'll be the biggest discovery of the 21st century. That would be absolutely incredible. That's really amazing that this archaeological work is still ongoing. Oh no, I hope you feel better, Michelle. Everyone's saying that. Kenny was asking if any relics are found on the farm. Does the farmer get paid for the find, or when they dig up the land? I do believe that there is a reward is made, so that you don't go away empty-handed. So now we're heading towards this wall that you talked about earlier, called Yueliangwen. Tell us about that wall.
Just one piece of that one, you will find the layers of the city wall made of the earth-rammed ores. Earth-rammed ores. About nowadays only 2 or 3 meters tall left.
Okay.
Yeah, but we saw that original should be more higher. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so we're going to head to the wall now. There's a bit of distance, so we're going to have to travel there by a shuttle bus. So if you'd just like to jump into the car with us, and we'll take you around to see what it's like here at the Sanxingdui dig site these days. We saw earlier that there's a lot of farms everywhere. This part of Sichuan, this area is definitely covered with a lot of farms, and in fact the original discovery of Sanxingdui back in 1929 was discovered by a farmer who was digging a ditch. And you were talking about excavation.
Yeah, excavation.
And we passed by an interesting place on our way here. We didn't start our live stream there, but you might be able to see it. It's got very high walls and it's fenced off. And it has take a peek inside. Unfortunately, we'll just have to wait for the press release for any new discoveries. But it is absolutely tantalizing, isn't it? And for those of us who are just tuning in, we're here in southwest China in Sichuan province, looking at which is a Bronze Age city, which was the capital of a place known as the Kingdom of Shu. Now, these days, Sichuan province, the name is abbreviated to Shu in China, so it's a continuation of all this history. And Sanxingdui itself was incredible because they made these absolutely amazing, very advanced, intricate bronze artworks that had never been seen before elsewhere in other parts of China. And also, this part of China is traditionally quite isolated. It was very far away from what was originally believed to be the cradle of Chinese civilization, where Chinese civilization rose. To this structure, I'm not quite sure if we're allowed to film this particular structure. It's huge, and I'm so curious as to what might be inside. So this is where they're making
sacrificial pits. Okay,
right.
That's the architecture. Not just protect very well.
Yes, it's very well protected. We're just giving you a very an exclusive sneak peek.
Yeah.
There's no way we can jump over, is it? It's got it's a high voltage fence, barbed wire, and very tall walls. No, don't touch it. Don't try and go inside. We'll just have to wait and see. Maybe maybe there'll be news next year, or later this year, or maybe tomorrow. Secrets. I don't like all this secrecy.
Yeah, secret.
Oh, there's a fence here, but
Yeah.
we can't. 不能那边，不能往那边拍。We're not allowed to film over there. Okay. Just about to jump in a car and head over to a very interesting cross section of the ancient city wall at a place called Yueliangwan.
Moon, yeah, because it's a ship in moon.
Okay.
It's a ship in.
Yeah, we can sit together over here.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. James asks, were there any graves in here on the farm?
Graves, the tombs, that's one just in here, just found several tombs.
How many?
Several. West city wall, we found 29.
Wow.
The tombs.
Okay.
That's one also the common people.
Also common people.
Not the kings.
So not as interesting.
In fact, I saw that not very interesting, but scholars and archaeologists saw that quite funny.
Were they buried the same way that people are buried today?
目前为止应该是就是buried underground.
So they were buried in the ground.
So far,
the same.
Yeah, we found out.
Okay.
Almost buried underground. Quite similar to this, but nowadays almost burned.
Right.
Yeah.
And these tombs, were they pointing in a particular direction? Because I understand often in Chinese culture, graves are in a certain. They're oriented towards a certain direction. Did they find that here as well? 就是墓葬有没有就是冲着某一个统一冲一个某一个方向？
我们这边好像有点就是the 西北northwest we introduced before that this mounts and the tombs almost towards to the 西北northwest.
So the tombs were oriented towards the northwest. Do we know why?
Because in our northwest have a mountain we call it Mingshan.
Okay.
Ming mountain. In ancient Shu people's idea, they quite worship the high mountains, the mountain gods.
I see.
So we mentioned before in the museum, introduced before, and the people thought that climb the high mountain can to the gods will reach to the heaven.
Of course.
Also can the connection the sky and earth, where you can stand on the high mountain, you can see stars.
Right.
So the mountain quite important for ancient Shu people.
It's so interesting because we talk about all this worship of mountains and birds and trees and the sun and the stars and weather forecasts, and it seems so, I don't know, far away from us about why they did all of these things in a very logical manner, because the mountains were high, and if you climb to the top of the mountains you could see the stars more clearly, which is definitely true, especially nowadays when we have so much light pollution. And when you're closer to the stars, you do feel closer to the sky to head. It's a lot of sense. That's a very that was a very fun ringtone. Yeah, that's Kenny. Kenny wonders if they found during the digs, but probably not.
Yeah, I know. Vampire, but in here we call the zombie.
Oh, okay. So no vampires, but zombies.
Excuse me. Do you know in China our famous the movie Lin Zhenying?
Right.
That's one with toy catch the ghost and the monsters.
Okay.
Yeah.
We didn't find any of those at Sanxingdui yet.
No.
Not yet. We'll see.
No.
Maybe in the future. We don't know.
Yeah.
First.
Yeah.
We're making our way currently towards the Yuelanwans. It's actually quite far away, it seems.
Yeah.
And so Sanxingdui was a very big city.
Sanxingdui, it just covers about 3.4 we found the center site, totally 12 square kilometers. And the central area used to be a city. We must build eastern, western, southern, northern city wall around it. And the city square kilometers.
So what was this? Was this the outside? Was this the farm?
No, we're also inside.
We're still inside.
Yeah, inside the site.
And right now it looks like they're growing things here. What do they grow? Fruit trees. But what are they growing that's here in the fields?
Some how to say
grains, wheat.
Grapes.
And this is what the people of Sanxingdui would have grown too?
Yes.
Or do they eat something else?
Yes, still now we saw that because we found some evidence to that should be the rice, millet, or other crops.
And this is still grown here as well, right?
Yeah, still grow on. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
History really doesn't change here, does it?
Yeah, in fact we can see because China left some same food.
Right.
We are Chinese people.
right. They probably didn't have electric rice cookers back then.
Okay.
We have just arrived.
Arrived.
City Wall.
At
a place called Yuelangwan, which is off the car. Thank you.
Okay.
And let's head in. So there's a building here. I guess it's been.
Yes,
I guess the wall is inside.
Yeah, just the building protect it.
Right.
Yeah.
Tell us the story of this wall. What is it and why is it here?
This one just shows us the structure of the city wall.
Okay.
The structure of the city wall.
Right.
And you can see because
okay. You go ahead.
Thank you. And in the city wall, we will find some of the ancient peoples are alive, such as some pottery pieces also inside.
So right now, these two mounds of earth.
Yeah, 2 mountains.
Are they 2 city walls or 1 city wall?
No, in fact, just also the one city wall, and because between this hole have a ditch.
There was a ditch.
Yes.
Some sort of corridor.
Yeah, and corners cutting it, we can see.
So this is the ditch, the corridor that was between the city walls. Is this the inner city wall and that's the outer city? Do we know?
What?
Is one side an inner city wall and one side an outer?
Just one side. The corners cut it. So we can see its structure. The layers quite clear.
That's fascinating.
Yeah, we can see it was earth rammed wall cone people. No, how to say 鹅卵石?
Some stones, some pebbles.
Stone.
Right.
Yeah, stones.
What's the significance of the stone?
Oh yeah, this one just shows the structure and the materials of the city wall.
For Gabriela, so regarding your question about are there real farmers utilizing the farmland around the site, there's farms everywhere, but it currently is the middle of winter right now, so there are no one's planting anything. But obviously during other seasons, people are working the farmland nearby. And we were talking about this earth. Yes,
earth around the wall.
So for people who don't know, or maybe are unfamiliar with ram soil, it's damp soil, sort of mud, right? Local soil.
Local soil.
Soil.
So you will see some things inside them.
Sort of all sorts of things mixed with grass and other and stones you mentioned as well.
Yeah.
And it's called rammed earth because people. Did they make rammed earth? Did they use a hammer, or did they use something else?
In fact, now scholars argue that because the rammed, maybe in northern of China, quite popular. In the south, because we can see the earth is in fact very similar to clay, 粘性.
Like clay.
Yeah.
So it's very sticky.
So maybe just 垒住 来堆筑。
Oh, so they just literally put the soil bit,
Yeah.
and that would be heavy enough to make rammed earth.
Yes.
And the shape is interesting too, because it's not straight, is it? It's sort of slanted, it's sloping.
Sloping, yeah, and this one also looks like the how to say 梯形,
a trapezoid.
A trapezoid,
So it
yeah,
looks
yeah,
like a
trapezoid,
trapezoid.
yeah.
Okay.
And in fact, just on the top, it is about 20 meters net, width.
20 meters wide.
And the lowest just about 40 meters width.
Oh, okay. So the bottom is double the width of the top.
Yeah.
Why did they do that?
Some people thought that maybe prove the floor.
Oh, the foundation. It makes the foundation stronger.
Before in Sichuan, many rivers just raining pours the cats and the dogs.
Okay,
And
yeah,
yes,
yeah.
very heavy raining, and just the floor sweep the farm.
Oh, so this would be against flooding.
Yeah, against the flooding.
It wasn't for protecting the city from invasion?
Invasion. Yes,
From
also
enemies.
both ideas.
Right, I see.
Not also something, maybe also defending the floor.
Yeah.
But this one just a speculation.
Right.
Yeah.
And Kenny says, is it me or does China in the early period like to build walls? I think a lot of civilizations around the world, especially during ancient times, built a lot of fortifications because obviously there would be battles for conquest. But especially with rammed earth as well, it was found all across the world in early civilizations. It's honestly just the easiest thing. Construction material is everywhere, and you could just dig up soil and pile it up and make a wall. That's is the best and easiest way to make walls. And so these walls, they're not just filled with mud and soil, because you mentioned that there's other stuff in the walls. They found things here, right?
Yeah, found this here.
What did they find?
Also found some several pottery pieces,
Lots of pottery, okay.
and some jade or other things.
Okay.
Yeah.
It seems like they're finding the same stuff everywhere. Pottery, jade.
Yeah. In fact, inside you everywhere found the pottery or pottery pieces where some rich men have the jade or bronze decorations. Yeah. So we can say this capital city quite enjoys very beautiful and wonderful life in here.
Right, because it just means that people had, I guess, the resources to buy or make lots of pottery.
Yeah.
And they, they didn't really care if it broke.
Yeah.
Right? They could. Kenny was asking, did they find any armor in the wall? 盔甲有盔甲或者一些
the arm still now we have not found.
No armors.
Yeah, because
right.
the excavation are finished.
Right.
But we believe that in the future we found more present things.
That would be fascinating.
Yeah.
This looks different. What are these? They look like bricks.
Yeah, bricks. But our scholars argue that this one should be the later dynasty.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, because we have many dynasties.
Right.
This one maybe just a later dynasty.
Right,
yeah.
I see. And Stan, you were asking if this was a moat. This particular section is not a moat.
Moat, yes, moat.
Oh, this is a moat. Okay, my
yeah,
bad. So it is a moat. And you said that the moat was connected to two rivers.
Rivers, yeah. Mab River and Duck River.
So did they find boats then?
Boat, but boat, this one just a later dynasty. We mentioned before, 5 generations kings of ancient kingdom. The last king, the Kaiming Shi, in Chengdu city, have 12桥 culture.
So a
they
much
found
later
some
civilization.
the wooden. The tree boat.
Oh wow.
Tree boat.
Okay.
So we saw that more than 3,000 ago, the ancient Shu people in Guanghan city also have by boat.
Right.
But because the boat, if made by wood, carbonized, so we are not sure. We are not found it.
Of course. And I remember seeing some other interesting objects in the wall before. It's not just made of mud and stone and brick. Yeah.
Yeah, here.
This one.
Yeah, this one. Pottery.
That is absolutely incredible to see history in the wall.
Yeah.
This here is a piece of pottery.
Yeah, piece of pottery.
What kind of pottery is?
Pottery we introduced before in the museum. Pottery almost the containers used in the daily life. Then time have the people living here pottery and so on. Yeah.
So was that just used by regular people for drinking and eating?
Yeah. Drinking hot.
So it wasn't a sacrificial object or anything like that?
Yeah, also found some sacrificial the pottery. They almost make a very small.
Museum.
Yeah,
I guess they would have been protected, right? Kenny asks if he can help dig for dig for relics. You might have that one.
Yeah.
And Stan asks if they put any crocodiles in the moat. 就是有没有把鳄鱼放在这个 moat 里边
this one not.
就是为了抵抗
Decon no, not. You say that maybe in Western culture. Yeah.
No alligators or crocodiles. It was just a straight up moat. What's this?
Oh.
Is that a piece of pottery as well?
Some people saw that it looks like the bones, but this one we saw that should be the later dynasty, not the Sanxingdui culture.
It's a bone.
Maybe just maybe.
What kind of bone do you think?
Maybe animal.
Animal bone, not a human
bone.
bone.
Human bone, you? No, this one we can't see.
So would if just pure speculation, would this have been someone who ate something and then ate some beef and then threw away the bone?
Yeah. But this one maybe the later time, later people just such as so left some because they are just dig out the local soil and earth, so maybe have some household waste inside.
I see.
Yeah.
Gabriella was wondering about sacrifices, and she was saying how many early cultures put sacrificial sacrifices under their walls, animals for example, and I think indeed you're very correct. We did find, you were talking about it yesterday, that there were sacrificial items buried beneath walls, right?
Walls.
就是墙下有一些祭祀。
Yeah. Just the base of the wall. Also, we found some things sacrificed, but almost just sacrificial pits. That's one.
Mostly in the sacrificial pits. And James, the question you were asking, where is the emperor's tomb with all the statues they found underground in China? I believe you're referring to the Terracotta Army. So that would be in Xi'an, which is quite far away from this part of China. We're currently in southwest China. Xi'an is it's in North China.
Yellow
China.
River, civilization.
We're nearby the upper reaches of the Yangtze River, which flows through southern China, and the Yellow River flows through northern China, and it's actually believed that the Chinese civilization arose in the Yellow River, but the discovery of Sanxingdui really puts that under the microscope because it's sophisticated. So now a lot of scholars think that possibly there were several pockets of civilization that all arose at the same time, all across China, as opposed to all from one central region. And I believe that is all we have for you guys at home today. I thank you on behalf of both myself and Ming. So for those of us who've been tuning in for the last 3 days, thank you for watching our live stream with us, and we will hope to see you another time. Goodbye from Sanxingdui.